In this video, I'm going to show you how I went from knowing nothing about aviation to becoming a pilot in under 2 months. Now, everyone's experience is different, but I think this is an amazing way to save you some time and money. If you're watching this video, I am betting that you already looked up the requirements on how to become a pilot, so we're going to skip on that part. However, most flight schools will give you their pricing for the minimum amount of hours. And when you get to the $10,000 part and you're nowhere near the practical test, you start to wonder. So let's start. This is how I became a pilot. First of all, you have to take a fan flight. This is universal and it is very important. I mean, do you imagine paying up front and then not liking it? Now, most flight schools are going to offer you a $50 fan flight and you will do 90% of the flight. This is the time you make a decision of going forward with it or not. Secondly, and this is not going to be very popular amongst pilots, but from my experience, I downloaded Microsoft Flight Simulator and it was a game changer. Now, I have to be 100% honest with you. Nothing compares to the real thing. If I had to go above and beyond, I will tell you that it does not translate whatsoever to the real world. And I will show you an example right here. We're gonna do everything wrong. We're gonna pretend that we're coming in for landing and we are really slow and we are not gonna make the landing. So we're gonna take off again and go around and we're gonna ignore the stall horn and we're just gonna go on a stall. And you're gonna see here that the aircraft recovers really good, which in a real life being so uh, close to the ground, you're not gonna be able to recover if you don't do the right procedures. So here am I, let's say at 55, I touched down and I went up and I went up and I went up and I went up. So you see I'm at 40, I'm at 40, but I'm still flying, which is not what's gonna happen in real life. Now, if you do this on real life, you're crashing. But don't worry, that's why you have a CFI that's gonna take you up. You're gonna practice this scenario with more altitude, and your instructor is gonna tell you how to recover from it. But there's two things I want you to do with this flight simulator. Number one is to get the flight training done. Now, I know what I said, it does not translate, but it will give you an idea of the basics. They have really good short segments that will show you how things work and what they do. Number two is go to the airport that you will be flying out of and now start to do some exploring. Now, the first time you go up, you will realize that everything looks different from above. And this simulator will give you a better understanding of where things are around your airport. Step 3 is looking at aviation videos. So there's this YouTube channel that will give you everything you need and probably more. Has 63 videos to watch that are just filled with information, and this is the same thing your instructor is going to teach you. Step 4 is to get yourself a poster of the same type of aircraft that you're going to be flying on. They look like this, and it will give you a better understanding of where everything is in the cockpit. They're going to tell you to share fly. This is where you put your poster in a wall and then you start practicing the flows. You will go through your flow and then you will get your checklist and verify everything. And now you concentrate on the task at hand. Step 5 is not the greatest, but this is to get a ground school. Now, my advice is to finish it before starting your flying lessons. You have a written, oral, and practical. The last thing you want is to dedicate 33% of your time on all of this. If you take your test now, you can focus 70% or more on flying, and the rest of the time, it's just aviation talk. Last but definitely not least is to make sure you read the ACS. This is the Airman Certification Standard, and it will be what you get tested on. Also, it helps you keep organized as you can cross the maneuvers you feel comfortable with and practice the ones that you're not comfortable with yet. Now, making this video was fun, but it also reminded me on how stressful it was to get my license. So if there's an advice I can give you is nobody is born a pilot. It is not a race, and the results will make the journey worth it. So hang in there. If you like this video, please do me the huge favor of subscribing, like or dislike this video. Do whatever is in your heart. I also stream on Twitch with the same name. So if you want to catch me doing some games, make sure you follow me there too. See you guys on the next one.